From the Detroit Free Press, it's Friday. Here are today's top stories, presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Bush's has over 4,000 Michigan products, including the freshest fruit and vegetables, meat, seafood, and baked goods. Stop by one of Bush's 16 locations for the personal service you expect from your neighborhood grocer.
I'm Dave Boucher with the Detroit Free Press. Every year, Michiganders spend about $7 million in taxes on tampons, pads, and other feminine hygiene products. It's inappropriate and economically unwise, Democratic and Republican state lawmakers argued this week, as part of an effort to exempt these items from the 6% state sales and use taxes. Detroit Democratic Representative Tanisha Yancey is a sponsor of one of two bills that would change the tax code. She told the legislative committee, quote, "We don't buy these products because we want to. Trust me, we don't." She continued, "We don't buy these products because they are convenient. We buy them because we need them." From puberty, which can begin as early as 8 years old, to menopause, menstruation spans the vast majority of our lives, every single month. We absolutely need this. Republican West Michigan Representative Brian Posthumous agreed and is sponsoring companion legislation. He said the issue isn't partisan or gendered, but rather an honest effort to repeal a tax in a way that helps provide millions with a little additional cash flow. Michigan is not the first state to weigh removing these taxes. 8 states did away with these taxes between 2016 and 2020, according to a Michigan House Fiscal Agency legislative analysis. Advocates of the measure argue it makes a vital product more accessible to everyone and removes an unfair tax burden that generally falls on women. Nationally, some question the efficacy of these repeal efforts, but supporters say it's clear that even if prices on these products go up a bit after taxes go down, it still makes these crucial items more affordable and accessible. Lawmakers did not vote on these measures this week, but are expected to at the next meeting of the House Tax Policy Committee.
For the Detroit Free Press Autos team, I'm Jamie LaRue. General Motors is working around the clock with LG Chem engineers to find the cause of a defect in Chevy Bolt electric vehicles' batteries that could spark a fire. GM has recalled all 2017 to 2022 model year Bolts and issued a series of safety steps owners should follow to avoid a fire. Those include keeping the charge at 90%, limiting their mileage, and parking the cars outside and not charging them overnight. Owners have several questions, though. The first being, how long do they have to follow those steps until GM has a fix? The answer is no one knows. A GM spokesman declined to offer a time frame, but he said GM and LG are working as fast as they can. GM has halted Bolt production, so it wants a fix too so it can restart Orion Assembly where it builds the Bolt. Another question owners ask, will GM reimburse owners for added costs such as higher insurance rates or fatter electric bills to charge the cars during the daytime? GM said it will consider those incidental expenses on a case-by-case basis. Some ask, what about those of us who want out of our Bolt ownership now? GM again said it considers buybacks and trade-ins on a case-by-case basis. GM's spokesman declined to offer the criteria for which it would say yes to a buyback.
This is Julie Hines. A movie about a family huddled together inside a house, scared of danger lurking outside and nearing claustrophobic meltdown. It sounds like last year's COVID-19 quarantine, but the hook of We Need to Do Something, which opens Friday at theaters and is available for streaming the same day, isn't a deadly virus. The horror film that was made in Metro Detroit in 2020 concerns a suburban father and mother and their daughter and son who are stuck in a bathroom after a massive storm. Still, there's no ignoring the subtext. It was made during the pandemic by a small cast and crew that definitely could relate to the confinement and anxiety of the story's characters. Local director Sean King O'Grady and producer Bill Sturts told the Free Press that shooting began in late September 2020 and took about 17 days. There were fewer than 20 people in the cast and crew combined. O'Grady says that he hopes audiences find the film cathartic in a way. Said O'Grady, "To me, it goes through the emotional roller coaster that 2020 took us all through. When you're watching the movie, you need to know it's okay to be scared, it's okay to feel emotional at times, it's also okay to laugh." O'Grady also said the pandemic helped reinforce our need to laugh at ourselves. "What are you going to do?" he told the Free Press. The two options are, I'm going to laugh at the absurdity of this horror show, or I'm going to never get out of bed again.
I'm Kirkland Crawford with the Free Press Sports Department, getting you set for the first big weekend of college football in the state. It begins tonight as Michigan State opens the regular season on the road and in conference at Northwestern. There are plenty of questions about just how this team will look in year 2 under Mel Tucker, especially since almost literally half of the roster has been turned over. Perhaps the biggest question is at quarterback, since no one outside of the team seems to know who will get the start, the incumbent, Peyton Thorne, or the transfer from Temple, Anthony Russo. Kickoff tonight in Evanston is at 9:15. Then on Saturday, the Big House is back open to fans as Michigan hosts Western Michigan. While we know who's starting at QB for the Maize and Blue, Cade McNamara, the question stems from the defense. Out is assistant coach Don Brown, and in his stead is Mike McDonald, who worked for Jim Harbaugh's brother John in Baltimore. Kickoff for this one is Saturday at noon.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. If you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to freep.com/special offer.